They had a recording of Meek and Diddy
making love.
Ew.
I don't know if it was love.
Okay, you have it? Let's hear it.
What?
Yo, wait a minute.
That Nicki recorded that at the freak off in the Calabasas.
I'm at a point in my life like we all grew up in the streets.
What? Yo, wait a minute. Wait.
You didn't hear this?
No.
Now, Miran,
Yeah.
what does that sound authentic?
Play
It absolutely.
again.
Oh my God.
You get these vulnerable people, parents are letting you do this because they want to make it so badly, and then you record them probably and say, if you do anything, we got this on.
Every single day there's a new twist.
Oh, absolutely.
And honestly, it's becoming a full-blown Hollywood spectacle. Remember how Meek was all nothing to see here about any connection to Diddy?
Right, the denial phase.
Well, that story seems to be flipping faster than a pancake at a Sunday brunch.
It certainly does. And what's particularly interesting is, well, the timing of this apparent shift.
Especially.
For a long period, the narrative from Meek Mill was one of strong denial, almost defiance regarding any problematic association.
Total defiance.
Now, as Diddy faces some pretty serious legal challenges, including that upcoming trial,
May 5th.
right, we're starting to hear a different story emerge. One where Meek suggests he might have been, under pressure.
Exactly. And that's the million-dollar question right now, isn't it? Was Meek Mill genuinely feeling some kind of industry heat? Or is this sudden change in tune more about, strategically distancing himself as Diddy's situation gets hotter? It feels like we're watching a real-time unraveling.
It does. And that brings up a significant point about the dynamics of power within the entertainment world, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If these claims of pressure hold any truth, it could expose a less visible aspect of the industry, where influence might be used to create situations individuals wouldn't willingly enter otherwise.
And it feels like this latest wave, all this scrutiny, really kicked off with that audio clip, the one that suddenly surfaced from March of last year.
Oh yeah, that clip.
It just appeared online and the internet went absolutely nuts. People were analyzing every single second of it.
The speed and the sheer intensity of the online reaction, it just underscores the hyper-connected world we live in, right?
Totally.
And the constant surveillance, really, that public figures are under. Whether the info is accurate or not, it just spreads like wildfire.
And Meek's response was immediate and forceful. He came out swinging, calling it fake, AI-generated garbage.
Right, the AI defense.
Part of a deliberate smear campaign against him. He even dropped that line about his powerful voice as a black man from his background, declaring himself a real king.
He doesn't lack confidence.
Not at all.
His denial was certainly emphatic, and he immediately framed himself as the target of, misinformation.
But
However, when we consider his past, well-documented closeness with Diddy, the numerous photos, the videos that have circulated for years.
right, you can't just ignore those.
It's understandable why a healthy dose of skepticism greeted his strong denial. The visual history, it just seemed to contradict his words.
Skepticism might be the understatement of the year. I saw countless side-by-side comparisons online, really friendly-looking pictures, made it hard for people to just take his denial at face value. Then Jaguar Wright throws this curveball into the mix, claiming Nicki Minaj was the one who leaked the audio.
Oh, okay.
Supposedly from some freak-off in Calabasas. You can't make this stuff up.
Jaguar Wright's claim certainly injects another layer of intrigue into an already complex situation.
For sure.
And the specific detail of a freak-off, that immediately captures attention and adds a vivid, albeit totally unverified, element to the whole story.
And the Nicki Minaj angle, that's pure drama gold. Apparently the story goes that Nicki had this recording and was just waiting for the right moment to drop it. And if you remember that comment Nicki made a while back about Meek enjoying controversy.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Is there more to this than meets the eye?
It certainly prompts further questions. Nicki's earlier remark about Meek, viewed through the lens of these audio allegations, well, it could be interpreted in various ways, couldn't it?
How so?
Was it just a general observation about his personality, or did she actually possess specific knowledge or suspicions related to this situation? It just adds another layer of complexity to try and decipher.
Then, flash forward to September, and suddenly, Diddy is arrested.
Big news.
The internet basically exploded, and guess whose name started trending all over again?
Let me guess. Meek Mill.
You guessed it, Meek Mill. People were suddenly connecting all the dots, wondering if he knew more than he had let on, you know.
Well, the arrest of such a high-profile figure inevitably triggers a reassessment of their entire network, their associations.
Makes sense.
Anyone closely linked to Diddy would naturally face increased scrutiny as people try to understand the broader context of the situation. It's almost unavoidable.
And then the online detectives, they dug up this old video
Oh, I know the way you mean.
of Diddy calling Meek daddy. That clip went viral practically instantly.
Instantly.
The online reaction was intense, to say the least. A lot of people interpreted it as like definitive proof of a deeper, maybe unconventional relationship.
That particular clip undoubtedly provided, well, significant fuel for online commentary. The use of the term daddy, especially when you view it alongside the other allegations.
Yeah, the context matters.
It led many to speculate about the true nature of their connection, ranging from, maybe playful banter to something more significant.
Meek, not surprisingly, wasn't thrilled about any of this. He jumped back on social media, dismissed the rumors as nonsense, and then, get this,
What?
offered $100,000, $100,000 to anyone who could find out who was behind these rumors, linking him to Diddy.
Wow, $100,000.
Yeah, that's a pretty serious move to try and clear your name.
Offering such a substantial reward was certainly an unconventional and very, very public response.
Very public.
It suggests a high degree of concern about the reputational damage these rumors were causing.
Yeah.
And maybe the belief that there was a deliberate effort to associate him with Diddy's troubles.
Absolutely. And then it gets more serious. In one of the lawsuits filed against Diddy, Meek's name actually surfaces.
Oh, really? By name?
Not directly by name, but described as a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj, and the implication is pretty clear. He was allegedly Diddy's boy toy. They didn't exactly beat around the bush.
The inclusion of that description within a legal document, even without explicitly naming him, that carries weight.
It does.
It indicates that these allegations are being considered seriously enough to be referenced in a formal legal context, and that just amplifies the existing speculation, doesn't it?
Totally amplifies it. And if all of that wasn't enough, the story of this truly wild birthday party from way back in 2014 resurfaced.
Oh, the Vegas party.
That's the one. Apparently, Diddy bankrolled this huge celebration for Meek in Vegas, but the details that came out afterward, seriously over the top.
What kind of details?
The property manager at this Parisian palace place described absolute chaos, shattered bottles, used condoms everywhere, bloodstained sheets.
Whoa.
Even evidence of drug use. Talk about a memorable party for all the wrong reasons.
Those kinds of accounts, if true, they paint a picture of extreme and potentially reckless behavior.
Extremely reckless.
The specific details recounted by the property manager, if accurate, certainly add a layer of credibility to the idea that this was an event far beyond the typical celebrity gathering.
And even with all that alleged mayhem, Meek initially tweeted his support for Diddy, hoping he'd be proven innocent.
He did. When was this?
This was more recently, after the party story resurfaced, but then after he got just slammed with backlash online, he deleted that tweet faster than you can blink.
So the tweet didn't last long then.
Not at all.
That sequence of events, the initial public support, followed by the rapid deletion, does suggest a certain level of awareness, maybe, regarding the potential negative consequences of being publicly aligned with Diddy at this particular moment.
You think. Now we're at this point where Meek's story seems to be, well, evolving.
Shifting again.
We're hearing whispers that he's claiming Diddy pressured him, that Diddy had this serious chokehold on the music industry.
A chokehold, okay.
And essentially told him he had to go along with certain things or his career would be in jeopardy. It's a complete reversal from his earlier denials.
It is a major shift, and this shift in narrative, it potentially aligns with some of the broader allegations that have emerged, doesn't it?
How so?
Notably within the Lil Rod's lawsuit, which kind of alluded to a system of quid pro quo relationships with Diddy, offering career advancement in exchange for certain behaviors.
Right, I remember that part of it.
So if Meek is now suggesting he was under pressure, it could be an attempt to reframe his past associations with Diddy in a more, perhaps, sympathetic light.
It even brings to mind those long-standing rumors about French Montana's rise to fame, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, those have been around forever.
The whispers about similar arrangements, Diddy throwing these incredibly lavish celebrations for him, It all seems to fit within this pattern of speculation that's been circulating for years.
It does highlight a recurring theme in these types of allegations.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that Diddy wielded considerable influence within the industry
Huge influence.
and could potentially have a significant impact on artists' careers. The very public and extravagant displays of support for artists like French Montana have certainly fueled similar discussions in the past, no question.
But we really can't forget, though, as captivating as all of this is,
Yes.
it's still largely in the realm of rumors and speculation. Street talk, maybe? Nothing has been definitively proven in a court of law.
That's a critical point to remember.
Yeah.
Absolutely critical. While the sheer volume of allegations and the consistency of certain themes across different accounts are, well, noteworthy,
Very noteworthy.
it's crucial to maintain a distinction between unverified claims and established facts, especially as legal proceedings are ongoing.
Right. Innocent until proven guilty, always. And the internet, as you can imagine, has just been a non-stop commentary track throughout all of this.
I bet.
I saw one comment that said, and I'm paraphrasing here, that Meek looked like he was a willing participant despite now claiming pressure.
Oof.
Another comment was pretty brutal too, questioning his whole tough public image versus the way he allegedly acted in these situations. People online are definitely not holding back their opinions.
No, they rarely do. The online reactions really highlight the intense public interest in these kinds of celebrity scandals and the often unforgiving judgment that can be directed at public figures when such allegations surface.
So true.
The apparent contrast between Meek Mill's established public persona and the nature of these allegations, that seems to be a central point of public discussion right now.
So yeah, we're back to that central question, aren't we? Was Meek Mill genuinely feeling pressured, maybe caught up in something bigger? Or is this a strategic pivot, damage control as Diddy faces increasing legal scrutiny? It's really hard to definitively say.
It really is. Ultimately, the full truth of Meek Mill's involvement and the real nature of his relationship with Diddy remains known only to him.
Only him.
The public is left to piece together the narrative based on the available information, the leaks, the lawsuits, and the various accounts that are being presented. It's messy.
Super messy. And it really makes you think about the incredibly challenging position public figures find themselves in when navigating these kinds of complex and potentially damaging situations. Especially now, right? In our current climate of instant information and constant online analysis. The pressure is immense.
So what does all of this ultimately tell us about the dynamics of power within the entertainment industry and the kinds of choices individuals might feel compelled to make in pursuit of success?
It's definitely something to keep considering as this all continues to unfold.